No edits, no filter. April 3rd, take one.
Excellent. Couple of days after April Fool's Day. What a great day to see you guys, man. Awesome stuff. Welcome to the first remote No Edits, No Filter. Riley, thanks for setting this up. Thanks for recording it.
No problem.
Recorded by Big Brother, and I'm sure somebody overseas is recording this, and it's on a hard drive somewhere. So be on your best behavior.
I'm sorry, no one can. I'm sorry, the viewers can't see me.
You're going incognito. We've got somebody going with an alias. Mr. Brad Aswell showing up with his alias today.
I noticed that name at the bottom of the screen.
Riley, you recording?
Yes.
Okay.
We've got Command Delta Sierra in the center there, got his hair all wild. He is making sure the world is running safely and we're all protected.
Yeah, Dieter needs to comb my hair like mine.
You want me to cut mine like yours?
Tom,
Yes, sir.
what's the topic today?
You know, the topic today is an interesting topic, and obviously, we're in an incredibly weird time, and I thought we would talk about maybe not this time, but maybe the strangest time we've lived through so far in our lives, maybe other than this. You know, what was that event? Was it a personal event in your family? Was it an event nationally or internationally that may have changed? Or is this the biggest thing? And then the second little piece to that is how my faith is helping me get through this. And what is faith? And what does it mean to have faith? And I think
everybody stay in they said another one's coming fall and all of that. No?
We got another one coming in the fall.
I heard on the news.
I'm not sure I believe everything I hear on the news yet, Sean.
Yeah, I'm hearing. Not everything on the internet's true.
Yeah.
This thing be over with if everybody stay inside and all of that. No?
I think our governor gave us a good edict last night to all stay home. Unless it's an essential business. We did find out from the governor's office last night, and as of this morning, that the work we're doing is considered essential at Woodard Brothers. Providing things to the state of Tennessee, and so that was good news for us. I think it's very strange right now how some people are hugely affected by non-essential work, and then others are qualified as essential work. And who's making that discernment? That's a tough decision to make. Right there.
I thought the coronavirus is so bad. I thought we were going to shut down.
Well, I thought we might have had to shut down as well. Hold on, I got Cody calling in on the line. Cody Martin.
Yeah, John. Some businesses have to close down; others don't.
Yeah, jump on, man. We're having our No Edits, No Filter. We'd love to have you on.
Does this mean we'll be coming on or coming to work next week?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me check what they say, Cody. Are you going to be able to join us?
Hey, so I got y'all here. When you guys have free time, I want you guys to use your cell phones and make little videes and talk about what.
Dieter, I've been doing that.
Hold on a second. This is an assignment. So I want everybody to do a little video and send it to me about what Autism Awareness Month means to y'all.
You don't need,
okay?
That was Peter. If you don't feel like joining us, you don't have to.
And then also make another video where you just wish the world well during this hard time. And then I'll edit that together. That can just be a message from all of us that we can put out, wishing everybody good luck during these times.
So Cody's not with us, but he didn't feel like doing no edits, but still wants to do some drawing. And he sent a little thing that says to stop the spread of germs. So
Raleigh asked you a question. Said we come back next week.
We're probably not going to.
It was Molly.
Huh?
That was me you asked.
And
say that again. What was the question?
Big John had said Riley, but it was me who asked, would we be able to come in for work next week?
Yes, we are going to have some Vireo work next week. I will say this: Woodard Brothers will be open next week for business.
Yeah.
And Trent will be in touch with all of you that have been doing some work. John, Trent, and Sarah will be in touch with those of you that are in Nashville and can come to work or desire to come to work. We are an essential business. We will be wearing masks, gloves, and being very far apart from each other. We won't sit together at lunch. We'll be at the new building at Massman. But if you are the least bit under the weather or the least bit hesitant to join us next week for work, we understand that, and we want you to stay home if either of those two things are true. If you would like to come in and pull some hours, then I'll take your name. Think about it. Hold on, John. Think about it, and we will. I'll take your name before we get offline today, and I'll tell Trent to get in touch with you to get you on the schedule. But you have to follow the precautions at the office: washing your hands a lot, wearing gloves, putting a mask on, and staying out of people's faces.
Hey Tom, are y'all gonna have them masks there?
We will have some sort of protection device there for you. Yes, sir. They're tough to find right now, John. And so what we may do is have you bring a bandana in and wear that around your face and look like you're holding up a building or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we will talk to you about that before the end of the show.
Okay.
Brothers will be open. We have some Vireo business.
You want me to get my mom or my dad over here?
We can talk individually. If you want to call me on my cell phone later after this, I'm happy to field those phone calls. But Trent and Sarah and John will be reaching out to each of you that desires to come in and do some work at the Vireo space. On the Avenue will be closed. The congregating of this group right here as on the Avenue and doing some of the things we've been doing in the past will be closed next week. We're going to take it 1 week at a time. And next week, we're going to close on the Avenue again and continue doing the good things to the facility. Does that make sense, guys?
No, but Tom, but the work, but we just come in just to work.
I'll call you, John. I will take care of you offline. I'll call you and Mary and Jim, and we'll work that out, buddy. I'll clear that up.
Hey, to get back on topic.
I'd like to do that. You want me to take it, Riley, and share one that kind of got me?
I actually was gonna start and say, at least for me, although I wasn't watching the news at that time, I would say 9/11.
9/11, no doubt. It changed this country in a lot of ways. It was a scary day. Everybody remember where they were?
Hey Tom.
I know where I was, but I'm.
What about
Big John? Big John.
Say that again, Alex.
Oh, I said I know where I was, but I'm too young to actually remember it. I only know because I've been told.
Yeah, I was walking out the door to work, and my wife called and said that there's some plane hit the building. So as I was turning on the TV, the second plane hit, and I told her, "That's the second plane. What are you talking about?" So I immediately I was headed to work, so I ran straight to what was the electronics store that was Radio Shack, because I didn't have a TV, and the guy was confused. He's like, "Man, we're selling TVs left and right." So I bought a real small television, took it to the studio, and then the people who I subleased from, we sat around all day and just watched that, and it was a real surreal time. Everything was quiet, nobody was going to work for a couple days, and it was weird.
Hey Tom, I'm always ask you a question. If you can't find this thing, I just can't put a scarf over my face and all that.
Yeah, John, we'll talk all about work next week after we get through with this subject. Let's do that.
Okay. You want me to get my mom or my dad in here?
I'll call you after the podcast, bud.
Okay.
We'll take care of that. I promise.
All right.
Yeah, it was a scary day, Dieter. It was crazy. I can remember where I was that time. He's
going to call you. Okay,
Dieter's ready for work.
Here you go, John.
Oh my gosh.
You can
I
just
think
wear
that's his underwear on there in his face, I think. I'm not sure.
Oh,
It's a good recording.
Is that granny? It looks like granny panties on there on your face there. What are those?
oh my God.
Hey, Tom.
Jason, how are you, buddy?
Doing great.
Oh.
I completely forgot we had a guest on.
Riley, will you introduce our guest to those who don't know him? I think a lot of us do, but I want you to introduce him.
For those of y'all who have been loyal viewers of No Edits, No Filter, you may recognize our guest today, Jason. He graduated from the same program as Matt, Brad, and myself, and actually the same year as Brad.
Right. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
I've been very well. Thank you.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
So you're coming to us live from a front porch in Chattanooga, is that right?
Yep. Hey, and also, I've been following you on Facebook, Tom.
Uh-oh, that's scary, man.
And guess what?
I wondered who that was.
I bet someone's birthday is coming up on Monday.
Whose is that?
It's yours, Tom.
My birthday's coming up on my. I don't want to celebrate anymore. I'm just getting old, Jason.
Are you an April baby also?
I'm an April baby. I'm an Aries, man.
Mine's the 14th.
David Burrs is joining the group. Look at that. What?
Yeah.
I am here.
Hey.
Finally.
Hey, Tom.
Witness protection also.
Yeah, you are on the witness protection. We need a little light on that face.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Happy early birthday, by the way.
It's an early birthday. What?
He said
Happy early birthday to you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. We've been celebrating birthdays in our neighborhood by standing at the end of your driveway, and everybody drives by and waves at you.
My birthday is next month, May 27th.
May 27th. Look at that. How old will you be, Jason?
28.
Awesome. There's David Burrs. Man, we missed you last time. How are you, brother?
Oh, good, good. I'm pretty new to Zoom.
You're what now?
I'm pretty new to Zoom right now.
Oh my.
Well, we're glad you're in the Zoom.
Me too.
We're talking about maybe something other than what's going on now that was impacted your life, an event. Maybe it was an event that impacted the whole country, or maybe it was just your family.
Yeah, well, speaking of 9/11,
yes,
too many people blamed the wrong people for it.
So you think we blame the wrong folks for it, huh?
I mean, some of us obviously did.
Who did we incorrectly blame?
Too many Muslims.
Too many Muslims, and I think we did. We kind of said any Muslim was not guilty. Not all Muslims, but yet we kind of lobbed them in, didn't we, Leo?
Inside job.
Wrongfully so.
I have a lot of opinions on this stuff, but I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
Me too, man. I'm just listening.
Me too.
I don't know anything.
So I want to say though, to that point, Leo, I think just like we are now saying this was started in China, and we're going to blame every person that's Chinese for the start of this. That's kind of an incorrect way to look at that. Is that what you're saying, Leo?
Absolutely.
I think so too, man. And I think this is really an important point we're going to learn during all of this. Sometimes it's not just pointing a finger at blame at someone. It's how we react and move forward with it, because it's already happened. And I think that's important. That's a great point, Leo. Anybody else want to chime in on 9/11? While probably the greatest thing that has happened, but besides this in our lives to impact our lives.
When it spread in China, they said it was going to come to the United States and all that.
Yeah.
I think when Princess Di, when she died, that was kind of a surreal moment. Everybody kind of stopped for a minute. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting time.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something interesting about 9/11.
Yes, sir.
It was September 10th. I was at the mall in Green Hills, and I just happened to see Winona, the country singer, Winona Judd,
Yeah.
the long, fiery-haired singer. And I just approached her and just casually said hi, and she was very nice. And at that very moment, if I had a psychic sense of what was going to happen the very next day, I would have, called the National Guard, alerted Washington. So
Did have
that's
a
how I
second
remember
chance, or
9/11.
if you had one.
Yeah, if I had one.
Yeah, exactly. So you remember that time as having met Winona.
Right.
The day before. That's interesting.
Mhm.
We had a minister at
That's
our
crazy.
That is crazy. We had a minister at our church whose brother was actually in the building that got hit, and he survived. And
wow,
he was one of the ones to get out. And they lived in the city. And she tells the story. She and her husband were in the city as well, and they had to walk across the bridge to get out of the city with all the masses that were leaving. I can remember that sight. That was a really eerie sight. Anybody else want to chime in on, we didn't know 9/11 was going to end. If you remember, it was kind of a rolling thing, it kept coming, and we didn't know when the next plane was going to hit or if something else was going to happen. And luckily it really didn't in that particular vein. But it was a really interesting time. It impacted us greatly in a lot of ways, as we know, travel and identification and the way we can move around the country and things like that. A lot of new acts new laws were enlisted because of that. What other things have been impacted? We've got Lady Di, we got September 11th. Who else thinks of something?
Well, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people
sorry, go
on
ahead,
the virus and all of that.
And the virus now, John, that's right. What about it, Alex? What were you saying?
Are we doing personal stuff or only
Sure,
kind
man.
of like work stuff?
If it affected your life in a great way, yeah, let's share. That's what I want to hear.
Sure. So there was a period in high school, well, middle school and high school for me. It was about 2 or 3 years, I think, where stuff just kind of back to back was it kind of like from the outside now on the end of it looking in, I can see that there were plenty of like good times and like, all of that. But in the moment, it kind of felt like it was just like one thing after another of like, why is this happening? So I lost my grandma in 7th grade, and she was really close to me. She was like she was like another mom, basically. And then like a year after that, my dad left for the first time, and that happened like several times over the course of the next few years until my junior year when he left like permanently. And so I definitely remember those 7th through 11th grade years as like kind of uncertain times, like what's going to happen next almost, it's like dad keeps leaving and, we've lost Grammy, like, what's the next thing that's going to hit?
So what did you do, man? What did you do to get some strength back during or some peace during those times? What did you, because we've all lost someone.
Mm-hmm.
We all lose people a lot in our lives. And I think that's important to learn how to deal with those. Share with us maybe you deal with that. If you don't mind.
So, yeah, no, definitely. So it was a lot of, it was surrounding myself with people that could support me and better me. So I dove deep into the Bible and stuff during that time. And my old youth pastor, who was also my best friend's father, you practically couldn't find me not at their house.
Yeah.
Like I was over there.
You found a
like,
replacement for your dad in some ways.
Right.
Maybe did, right?
I do say that a lot. He is like, he became my dad once my dad left. So
That's cool. That's cool on two sides of it, that you sought that out, and number two, that he stepped up and played a role in your life that you needed. I think that's very cool. And I think that's true what we need to do. Right now, we're calling a lot of folks that are at home sheltered by themselves. You know, if you've got a person from your church or an aunt or an uncle or someone that's elderly that might be living by themselves, simply picking the phone up and calling them every day and saying, hello, how you doing? What's going on? Just wanted to call and say I loved you. That 3-minute phone call could last them the entire 24 hours and really get them through a tough time. And so I encourage you to do that now and be that person in someone's life. Because I think these little things we're doing on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now are going to be that for me. I'm just glad to see you guys' faces right now and can be a part of it. Yes, sir, Riley.
I was going to say, since we've heard from several people, I want to hear from Jason and Tyler, as well as a few other, as well as everyone else who hadn't gone yet.
Would agree. Jason, tell us something that's really life in a big way that you can remember.
Well, I've been here in my parents' house since March 13th. Just because it was virus, I was supposed to go away to camp, and they canceled my camp in May for virus for Young Life already.
So you've had to move home, right, and not be independent and not go to camp because of this thing. So this is really affecting you.
Yeah, but I don't have it. But the reason I'm at my parents' house is because my work is out because of the virus.
You're a teacher now, correct?
Yes, teacher assistant. Yeah.
Teacher's assistant, and so y'all aren't working right now. That's so you're hanging out at the house with the parents. Is your mom and dad giving you a big to-do list over there?
No, I've been doing some work I've been doing work from my job, Southern Christian. But yeah, I've been on Zoom videos before. I have another school here in Cleveland, Tennessee. It's called Tuesday School.
Okay.
And they do classes on Zoom. So I'm participating in that.
That's great. You're doing your classes on Zoom. Zoom's a great thing, man. I had no idea what this was. Zoom was an old TV show, like I said last time. This is really nice to have this with you guys. Tyler, tell us something that's happened in the Scanlon household, maybe internationally, nationally, in your life that really has impacted your family and how you guys dealt with something like that.
Or something from Belmont.
Or something from Belmont, Leo. That's a good one. I like it.
All right. I had one, but it had nothing to do with Belmont. So I guess I'll try to keep it short so I can do a little bit of both. But growing up, I had a couple of friends that had older brothers that were really good athletes, and 2 or 3 of them just dropped dead at like 18 years old because of sudden cardiac arrest. And it's one of those things where just like an underlying condition, they're perfectly healthy, like college athletes, and they just kind of drop dead. And
so friends of your big brothers?
No, so 2 of my better friends in high school, and then 1 of my close friends in high school. So I mean, I know like 3 or 4 people this has happened to, and they're all like really good, top-notch athletes, 3-sport guys, and they just like drop dead. And it's one of the like, it's a thing that it's they don't really do heart tests. If you think about it, like people really don't get their hearts screened unless you have an issue.
That's right.
So I think, and as a community, where I'm from, we kind of took it to heart. Like you really got to appreciate like every moment you get to, play sports or even just be around other people and things like that. Cause you never know, with things like that it just can be gone like that. So that was like a big deal for me. And then I think at Belmont, I think in between being at Boston University and knowing where I was going to Belmont, I think that was a really uncertain period of my life where I just wasn't sure what the next step was. That was the first time really ever that I truly didn't know what was going to happen. You know, you're in high school, you go to college, and there's like steps that you follow. And then for the first time, I really didn't know what was happening. So I think looking back on that, it made me just realize that there's people to help you. There's greater forces at work than just putting all the pressure on yourself. You just got to believe. And believe in yourself and believe in the people around you, and things will work out.
So that's the faith we were talking about earlier, right? I mean, you have to have faith that the move to Nashville is going to be good. You have to have faith that you're going to get up the next day and be able to put one foot in front of the other when you lose a friend like you did. I don't know what people right now without faith or without a belief in God right now are doing. I personally, that's what gets me through each day. And I would concur with you. Those are great words. Anybody else want to share something that hasn't had a chance to share? Bobby or Brad?
Me or Bobby, who's next?
Mr. Aswell, go ahead.
All right. So, is anyone familiar with Williamson County Schools?
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. So, there was a time 5 years ago when that went on for a week or two. They've been experienced some numerous kinds of behaviors for some past couple of days by well, there was a time there have been bomb threats around Williamson County Schools.
Remember that.
Has anyone heard about that?
That was a few years ago, wasn't it? About 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that included 5 schools had those threats, including where I went to high school, Summit High School. Yeah, that was that did seem like a big impact from what I've been through.
How did you deal with that?
Well, from how it happened around at Summit, it was actually a Twitter threat, which I've been unaware of. I know that was bad. And from the other threats, I was actually ready for trying to plan some kind of safety as much as I can, being like alerted, being self-mindful of my surroundings. Just I'm ready for anything.
Okay, being prepared. Then it taught you to be prepared for those such situations. Maybe that's a good lesson. We learned to be better prepared. It seems our nation wasn't very prepared for this right now from a medical standpoint.
Yeah.
We're scrambling for gear. We're scrambling for a process.
Scrambling for a vaccine.
Scrambling for a vaccine. Great point, Leo. And I think now we're going to have done some of that. And I think that's good. It helps us get more prepared. Good points, Brad. Bobby, what about you, man? Have anything you want to share?
I never really had anything hugely influencing my life. Although when I was younger, something that really disturbed my life that made it so that I am extremely wary of any kind of sports. There was a rollerblading thing at school I had went to. I cannot remember the school's name right this moment, but because I've transferred multiple times for schools.
Sure.
But I went to rollerblading and I had ended up breaking my arm.
So an injury.
Oh.
And so because of that, I am extremely wary of doing any kind of sports extreme activity like that kind of.
Gotcha.
Or where I'd have to move very fast myself.
So you're not going to join the roller derby team from On the Avenue. Is that what I'm hearing?
Nah.
Okay, good. What did you learn through that though? What did it teach you? Ended up with a cast on your arm and all that?
Yep.
What did it teach
you? I had a metal pin through part of my arm, and I actually have a small bump on my wrist that actually shows where it was at.
Uh-oh. So what did you learn from that experience, though, other than just not wanting to participate in extreme sports?
To be extremely careful of your surroundings. I ended up getting bumped by another skater who ended up doing going differently than me and just bumped into me.
So made you a little more cautious, made you a little more aware of your surroundings. Okay.
Yep.
Dustin, what about you? You got anything you want to share?
No, I can't think of anything.
Okay. Anybody else?
Are you gonna come on Mom and see we get a scarf and a mask?
I'll call him in just a minute, Big John. I sure will, and we'll talk. Okay. I'll talk to Jim and Mary in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Good. Excellent. You know, guys, I really appreciate your time today. Riley, what else you want to take this anywhere else with faith and crazy stuff that goes on in the world?
I actually have something to say about faith.
Go, Bobby. Chime in, man.
Although I am not extremely religious, my parents end up going to church every Sunday. They are very sad because they can't get their palms or um, palms for the.
For Palm Sunday.
Palm Sunday, that's right. It's going to be very weird not having an Easter Sunday service at our church. It really is. This Sunday's Palm Sunday, and then the next Sunday's Easter. And we're watching them online, and we've got people. I think Jason, aren't you guys holding church service in your front yard?
We are.
Your mom rolled her piano out on the front porch, and some lady's playing it, and y'all are having people come and sit 6 feet or 10 feet apart in your front yard. Is that correct?
That's it. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So, Bobby, I would encourage your parents just to find a way to worship there with them, and I'd sit there with them if I were you, and just spend a little time in contemplative time with the greater being that's running things. Yeah, go, chime in there, Al.
You're just sad though because for every year she's gotten palms, and now she can't.
Oh, I see. I got you.
So, as far as social distancing church practices, it's really interesting. My old church in Columbia, Missouri, they're doing a thing where they hook up a series of speakers on top of one of the ladies' cars, and then they're going out to the parking lot in front of our college football stadium, and everybody in the church is driving up and staying in their cars, and they're having like loudspeaker church service with everybody quarantined in their car.
Drive-in church, man. Wow.
Exactly.
Hey, we
I have something about faith.
Talk to me, Jason.
How are you guys doing with this tornado and stuff in Nashville?
With the tornado stuff, those that were damaged are recovering, but it's tough, man. It's on the heels of that to have this epidemic hit us. It's really tough on folks that were impacted by that. Still some buildings down. I think electricity's coming back, but the economic impact we really won't even go into today. But we're just not sure what that's going to do to some of the businesses over there in East Nashville. Anybody else got any other tornado insight on that? I really don't.
No.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah. People lost their homes and all that.
They sure did, John. You're right. Yes, Riley.
So driving back to North Carolina, we had to obviously pass through Lebanon.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was tough. I've seen some pictures of Lebanon. Got hammered.
Yeah.
That's a traumatic thing. 1-2 punch to our city. I don't hear a lot of people complaining. I just hear a lot of people working very hard to try to do what they can to get through this and know that we'll have a better day one day when we can all get through it.
Tom, I have something to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As most of you know, 10 years ago, back in 2010, we had a massive flood. And it destroyed homes, businesses. We almost lost the Opry Mills and the Opry Mills Convention Center, Opry Mills Convention Center, I'm sorry. And the funny thing is that, these kind of things bring everyone closer together. And the funny thing is, 10 years later, we have this tornado, we have this pandemic. The tornado, and yet this brings us all together, but at the same time, art.
It's interesting.
That's the irony that I see.
There's a lot of irony in that we can come together in things like Zoom and what we're doing and keep each other in our thoughts and our prayers and things, but to physically be distancing. I'm calling it social togetherness, physical distancing. That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't want to socially distance.
Yeah.
I want to stay in touch.
But spiritually, we have to be closer together.
That's right. I agree. And you know me, I'm a hugger. I want to come up and hug all you guys. And,
yeah, we understand that.
Yeah. If we do, if we do that, we get sick.
That's right, John. So we're not going to be hugging. So I hate that.
We can't shake hands either.
No, can't shake hands right now.
I said we can't shake hands.
I miss your farting, John.
Oh, snap. Didn't see that coming.
My God.
We don't
missed
have
the
Brad
ringtone.
Smith Zoom, do we?
Oh my God. I missed it as well. Jason.
Brad, are all the ladies missing you?
What?
What?
Brad, are all the ladies missing you?
I bet.
Oh, player.
And,
Big John's.
man, we miss your ringtone. Change.
Big
Yeah.
John's flatulence is almost as deadly as yours. Almost.
Oh.
Oh, hey.
No, I'm not kidding.
Well, there is one benefit to social isolation. I like that. We don't have to smell that. That's good stuff.
Tom.
Hey, does anybody need anything? Is everybody okay in their house? Everybody
Yeah.
good to go?
I'm good.
Stored
I'm
up?
good.
Good. All right. Dustin, Alex, are you in Nashville or are you up? Did you go home?
I'm currently still here. It's uncertain whether I'll need to go home at some point or not. It's
Okay, cool.
we're
Soon.
trying to navigate. What?
Yeah, call me, man. I've been trying to reach you. Give me a buzz offline this thing. We'll talk about some stuff.
Okay. Could you? So I have to use my computer to do phone calls right now.
Yeah, sure.
Could you email me your phone number?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that right
Okay.
now. Doing that right now.
Hey, Tom.
Yes, sir.
For my question is for ladies getting you.
What's that?
For my question is for ladies getting you too.
It is? I think I misunderstood you. Say that one more time, Jason.
For my question is for ladies getting you.
For ladies?
Are the ladies
Yes.
at you?
The ladies missing you.
Oh.
Jason.
Getting Tom murdered.
No, I've got my lady at my house with me, and I'm a very lucky man. We just celebrated her 50th birthday.
Welcome to the club.
That's great.
Welcome to the club.
I'm not on the market like Brad Aswell is.
Of course.
Hello.
Tell me Riley for that. Oh, by the way, check this out.
Raleigh.
Oh, really?
The gallery view.
What was that, Rowdy?
Oh, I like that logo.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There it is.
Yeah, buddy.
Bad boy.
I like that, man. Looking good. Excellent.
Tom
Hey,
murdered. What a guy.
I want to let you know before we go, and then we get to close out. Cody's not here to close us out, but somebody can take that. Dieter and I are going to be reaching out to each of you next week about your IEBLs, about the things you're working on. John, you're typing and different things and projects that we have going. We don't want them to get stagnant, and we want to help you work on things. Leo, your book. Bobby, we want to get our IT meetings going again. We want to keep this going as much as we possibly can while we're separated physically. But Dieter and I will be putting some plans together. So look for some individual emails coming to each of you about some things you can be doing to kind of keep busy and stay productive during this period of time when we're spending a lot of time in our homes. Just know that you're in my thoughts and prayers every day, and I know for Dieter's as well. And we encourage you both, all of you, to keep in touch with each other during the course of the week. We'll just do a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday 2:00 time right here on Zoom. I'll send out the info for Monday's meeting. Riley, do you want to host this? Will you keep up with this for me? Would you do that?
Yes, I've got everyone's emails. So.
If you would do that, just look for an email from Riley. He'll continue to set those up for us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Riley, at 2:00. We'll call this one No Edits, No Filter, but the others will just be a get-together to kind of talk about stuff. And then Dieter and I will get in touch with you about some things that we think you can be working on during these times when we're socially kind of alone. I also would encourage you, if you see something that you think would be beneficial for the group, share that with us. I'm really spending some time reading some good things now, and I think Riley asked, are we going to be uploading some no edits to the blog? I encourage everyone to go to ontheavenue.net and look at our blog. We're going to be populating that. I'm going to start putting a thing up every day, just a little inspirational something. And I think that'd be really a good place to kind of stay in touch, share that with people, and we'll use that as kind of a hub for us.
I've already put a hyperlink in my signature.
That's great. That's awesome. And that's your site, guys. That's a place where you are. You're part of the citizens on there. Your pictures are there. It's a place that's your website to go share with others. Yes, David.
Oh no, I was just.
Are you landing a plane over there, David's landing?
I was just addressing Riley. I was addressing Riley.
Guys, I was only using that to kind of moderate
the audio.
Yeah.
Anybody else have something they want to share?
I was just saying I miss Dieter's ringtone, like.
Oh yeah.
That's his text tone.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see.
I don't know. I got to figure out where it's at.
Command Delta Sierra.
Right.
Hey, Tom.
I think his ringtone is the Star Wars theme.
Yeah, his
has
ringtone is
been.
Star Wars. His text tone is Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, man.
Hey, Tom, we come back next week. What time we get off?
Sean, I'll call you about your schedule here in just a few minutes, buddy.
Okay.
And hey, Alex, I'm gonna text you about possibly doing a spectrum on here.
Cool.
Thoughts would be fun, y'all. You guys ought to do that. That'd be a great idea.
Definitely.
I would encourage that every morning. If that's something you can wake up and look forward to every morning, I would absolutely do that.
Well, I mean, let's try. I would say try to keep the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule of.
You guys take that and run. That's your and Dieter's deal. I would let y'all do. I would encourage you to do that though. Anything we've got to kind of look forward to, put on the calendar is an important thing right now, I believe.
If we're doing Spectrum, please tell me about this beforehand. I might not be up early enough.
Oh, Bobby, it's like 9 o'clock. If you're not up by 9, we need to go come up there and throw water on you.
I know I'll be up.
Noon is a good time to sleep till.
Get that to Valley.
Time to sleep till. Look, everybody, we're gonna have trouble getting everybody back to work. Everybody's gonna get lazy on us.
Yeah. Hey,
Alarm
Tom.
clock.
Tom.
I said not me.
Hey,
So let me take a real quick survey of folks that would be interested in coming back and doing some video work next week. John Droughty, would you be interested
Doing what?
in doing some work next week?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Alex D,
Hmm.
would you be interested in doing some work next week, or are you gonna or not? There's not a good or a bad answer to that.
It's just a matter of what I end up needing to do as far as staying here or going home. So if I could let you know, that would be.
Yes, you can. Leo, what about you?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, yes.
All right, I'll reach out. Bobby, what about you? You want to come in and do a little bit of work and be protective, or are you going to hang up in the hills, sleep till noon?
I think I could come in a couple days.
Okay, I'm going to give.
I'm not sure if I can do a whole week like I did last time because that messed up my hands a bit for a while.
Well, we've got a new cool machine. We've got some new cool things. So, but let's look at that. I'll have Trent reach out to you. Matt, what about you, boss?
I would be willing, but here's the deal. I'm sort of like on the 50-50. It's not that I don't want to do it, but I don't want to take a chance of getting sick.
And I don't blame you. And so that's.
But I don't want to infect others. That's the thing. I look at it as, well, if I get it, well, I don't want to get it. So I'm not. Let me talk to my mom.
It's a great idea. Sit and talk to
Let me talk to my parents, because on one hand, yeah, I want to work, but on the other hand, right now with this virus, not sure if it's a good idea.
I understand the conundrum and respect it 100%. Brad, what about you, bud?
But I'll get back to you and let you know my answer.
Matt, you have a point. I gotta ask my parents about that too.
Yes, sir. And John too. Alex.
I'll get back to it in like.
Everybody ought to do that. Brad, it's sort of a family decision. We're going to be open and we'll be moving product through. We'd love to have you.
Good.
I'm just sideways on us. There he goes.
Yeah.
Brad, what about you? You want me to have Trent reach out to you?
Yeah, I'm actually with Matt on this one for safety.
I agree with you. That's awesome. And Alex moved. Bobby's down. He's there. Jason, you're not coming up with Chattanooga. Dustin, what about you, boss?
I don't know if I want to take that risk. I don't want to risk getting sick.
All right. Sounds like a winner. I appreciate it, gentlemen. Did I leave anybody else out there?
Yeah.
Riley, I know you're not going to fly in from Raleigh.
Oh,
And
heck no.
Tyler, you're in Virginia.
9-hour drive.
David, what about you?
I think in light of the rising number of cases in Davidson County, of all the counties in the state, I think we best that I stay home.
Okay, good.
Because the number of cases is just going up and up.
You know what? I agree. I agree, Dave.
If you're short-staffed, you can call me.
Good, good.
Of all counties, Davidson has the highest number of cases.
I noticed that on the
we,
news, man.
We also have Nashville proper in it, though. So
I'm sorry, what?
we also have Davidson County has the highest concentration of people in Nashville too.
Yeah,
so
and also
it's
there's
all
a
relative.
home order as well.
Gentlemen, I just want you to know that there's not a wrong or right answer here. Please understand what I'm saying. And we're not asking you to come in. We're letting you know it's available to come in. And if you would like to, we would love to do that. If not, we respect your decision to stay home and stay safer at home. We are classified as an essential business, but that doesn't mean that you have to come into the office at that point. So please discuss those things with your family, and we'll be in touch. Who wants to lead us out of this thing today?
Hey, Tom, I have a quick
Sure,
question.
Matt.
I have a
So if we're classified as an essential business, do we work for the government? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, the government, we provide the government with product and other
Okay.
the state as a
I
part of.
just didn't know.
That's right.
I thought we were a private sort of company. I didn't think we were.
We are a private company, but we serve our state, we serve the supply chain in our state, and we're being asked to stay open to move product through.
Ah, okay.
That's
Cool.
what's
I was just curious.
I've got an idea as to closing us out.
All right.
On the count of 3, we all, Matt and Bobby, you're gonna need to unmute for this. But on the count of 3, we all yell "BAT" or
The
"Steve."
3 words, right?
Yeah.
What words?
BAT, right? Big.
All right.
Yes.
Those words.
How about we just say,
Oh, come on, Big John! You stole my fun. You stole my idea.
All right, I gotta go.
I can't yell. Wait, hang on. I
Oh,
can't
here.
yell because my roommate does IT support from home right now, but I'll still say it.
All right, good.
Hey, Tom, my mom's right here.
Hello, Mary. I'm getting ready to call you about some stuff next week. I'll call you.
I've got a patient calling in just a few minutes. Can you wait about an hour or so?
When you're free, you or Jim, give me a buzz. We'll talk about John's schedule next week.
Wonderful. Are you going back to work?
You
We're
have to
gonna
wear,
talk about
you have to wear masks and some gloves.
You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll
Talk to you in a little
Just
bit.
give me a call when you get a moment.
Or you can call Jim. Call Jim.
I'll call him in just a few. Excellent.
Okay, whenever you get a chance.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks.
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 All right, now, is your mom gone, John?
Yeah.
Is she gone?
Yeah.
Go. Ollie, count us down.
John's frozen. Yeah, I think it is.
Count us down.
Tells what?
3.
1.
Big ass
Yes.
Yes, doggos.
Oh.